This is crazy that I'm even sitting down to film this. Here's the drum roll for where I'm moving to. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Hannah. If you're not new, welcome back. I didn't think that it was actually gonna happen. Or I did think it was actually gonna happen because obviously I have faith and positivity, but it's very surreal to me that I'm sitting down and filming this video. So if you guys have seen my two most recent vlogs, I definitely mentioned and touched on the fact that I was potentially moving. That is officially happening and I couldn't be more excited. So in this video, I wanted to sit down and kind of talk to you guys about where I'm moving, why I'm moving, the whole process. Basically give you all the information that I feel like you have questions about. I'm just answering them ahead of time because I know you guys are gonna have questions and I just want to be like very open and honest about it. I listed a bunch of things on my phone just because I wanted to make sure that I got all of my points across and that nothing is left unanswered, and I wanted to make sure that I was being very clear and careful with my words in this video and just basically be able to be also open and honest. So I want to give you some background information on me, like where I've been, where I am currently, who I live with, so on and so forth, so that if you're new around here or if you're recently new or if you just don't know and you have all these questions, I'm answering them for you now. So I currently live in Virginia with my parents. I live about 30 minutes from Washington, D.C. I graduated from Syracuse University over a year ago, May 2019, so I think that's like a year and a half ago now. That's insane. It literally feels like I graduated yesterday. And I had moved back home with my parents because I got a job at a very big media and communications company that has a office in Virginia. So it was really convenient for me to be able to live at home and commute to work. I'm saving money on rent. I get to spend time with my family, so on and so forth. It has been a very wonderful experience living at home. But I feel like a year and a half is a very long time to also live at home with your parents, especially when you've been independent at college for 4 years. So there definitely are challenges that have come with living at home, such as like not being able to spend a lot of time with friends that live in different areas, and there's a sense of like, not that I'm not independent, not that I'm not allowed to do things, but I think that was taken back to like my high school self where I have to follow like my parents' rules and I have to be respectful of their space, and my room is kind of like the only part of my house that's like mine, you know what I mean? And like I said, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I knew what I was signing up for when I moved home, and it's not, I don't have a bad living situation like at all. I love my parents, I love my family. I've gotten to spend time with my dog, so on and so forth, but I definitely do miss the independence, and I miss being able to hang out with my friends regularly and see my boyfriend and so on and so forth. And those are just things that I haven't been able to really do since I've moved back home. Just truthfully. Here's the drum roll for where I'm moving to. Some of you guys have probably guessed it based on the content that I've been filming and based on the way that I've been talking in the last two videos, but I am moving to New York City. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so here's the information on why I'm moving to New York. And I definitely want to touch on a few topics. I want to touch on like why I'm moving to the city. Obviously want to touch on coronavirus because I'm very aware that numbers are spiking again, and you know where in New York that I am living. So I signed a lease in New York literally this morning. I sent the checks over, like everything is official. The only thing I need to do is I need to get the keys and do an apartment walkthrough with someone, and then it's officially mine. Subleasing an apartment for 6 months. So I didn't sign a year-long lease. I'm subleasing an apartment for 6 months because my work is 100% remote until March at the earliest. They like released a statement saying until March 31st we're 100% remote. We don't have to go into the office if we feel unsafe, and you know, since I do live with my parents, going into the office isn't really something that I'm looking to do because of the risk of getting coronavirus. It's also just way more convenient to work at home, and I really like working at home. So they released something saying that March 31st, 100% work from home, don't need to go into the office. And this kind of like sparked an idea in my head. So I went to visit, if you guys watch my New York City vlog, I went to visit my friends and stay with my boyfriend for 10 days in New York City a few weeks ago, I would say, almost like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And I love New York. I've always loved New York. Like New York has been a goal of mine to move there since I literally graduated. All my friends live in New York. Now my boyfriend lives in New York. I have family that visits New York regularly. It's just, it was a goal from the day I graduated. up until now, and I'm just trying to like achieve that goal. So let me just say that really quickly. Next thing I want to say is that I didn't really have an idea of when I wanted to achieve that goal, and I definitely didn't think I'd be achieving that goal anytime soon, especially with the world the way it is and the pandemic and my career and starting grad school. So I had literally no intentions of moving to New York anytime soon until I went to visit my boyfriend and my friends in New York a week ago. And I spent 10 days there, and just the sense of like independence and normalcy and getting to do like the bachelorette night with my friends and hanging out with my boyfriend normally. Like, we've literally been long distance for a year and a half. Like, literally our entire relationship has been long distance. I just got like this sense of normalcy, and it just made me feel good. It was probably like the happiest I had been in a very long time. And I'm literally, look, I'm gonna cry. I might cry. Kidding, I'm not gonna cry, but that was probably the happiest I'd been in a very long time. And I didn't realize how much of an impact those 10 days had on me until I went to leave and literally just sobbed all day. I sobbed prior to leaving, I sobbed in the Uber, I sobbed in the airport, I sobbed on the plane. Like, people probably thought I was going through it, but I kind of was going through it. And I got home and I sobbed, and I just like fell into like a very dark mental space where I was like, I don't want to be here. I want to be with my friends. I want to be doing normal stuff. I want to be able to hang out with my boyfriend. I want my independence. I had missed those 10 days the second that I got home. In my mind, that kind of clicked for me that something needed to happen, like I needed to make a change. And so I started playing around with the idea of subletting. And that's kind of where this whole thing took place. You know, I ran the idea past my friends, I ran the idea past my boyfriend, I ran the idea past my mom. Like, I literally just broke down and sobbed to her one day and was like, this is how I feel, this is what I'm going through, do you think this would be a dumb idea? And she's like, no, I honestly don't think it's a dumb idea. I think that it's something that you need, and I think it's something that you want, and I think that as long as you have a plan on how to approach it and how to go about it, go for it. Like, she was very supportive. My dad was very supportive as well. Obviously, there are some things that like I'm nervous about and that they're nervous about, and we just tried to basically like weigh the good versus the bad on like what was worth it and what wasn't worth it. And at the end of the day, we all decided that this would be a good change for me. So I did some apartment hunting and looked up 6 months lease. Surprisingly, a lot of places are being subletted currently in the city. Surprisingly, but also not surprisingly, because I feel like a lot of people are trying to escape the city because cases are going up again, because, you know, the city was the hot spot at the beginning, and so people are like scared to go back, which is understandable. So a lot of places are open in the city for subletting, and prices are like fairly decent. Like, there are a lot of very good deals going on right now, whether it's 1 month free, 2 months free, a reduced rent price, you can live with roommates, so on and so forth. There are so many good deals. So I just like did my research, hunted an apartment down, and I found a 1-bedroom in Manhattan. So I'm not living in Brooklyn, I'm living in Manhattan, in my price range for a 6-month lease, and secured the bag. So we signed the lease this morning on that place. I will be moving in December 1st, the week of December 1st. I don't think I'm moving in exactly December 1st, because I think December 1st is on a Tuesday, and of course I have to work. So I'm moving in on December, like the first week of December, I think. I got it approved by both my manager and my director. So that was like definitely one thing that I wanted to make sure was okay first. Like, I didn't want to sacrifice my job to move to New York. I wanted to make sure that it was okay with them, and they didn't have any issues with it. My manager was literally like, go for it, like, do your thing, girl. And I was like, okay, bet. I can afford it. I want to make that very clear as well. I'm not doing anything stupid financially. Like, I can afford it. I've made sure I can afford it. I've budgeted for this. I bargained the crap out of the rent price and the deal, and that's kind of where I'm at. So let's see what we have left to say about this. So that's where I'm moving. That's why I'm moving. I just need to change. Yes, okay, so Corona. I understand that Corona, okay. Let's make this thing very, very clear. I have been taking the pandemic very seriously, as you guys know. I don't think that it's a joke. I think it is very real, and I understand the risk that comes with moving to New York in the middle of a pandemic. I understand that New York was a hot spot during the initial pandemic spike and when it all went down. Let me make this very clear when I'm saying that I am not moving to New York to go and be stupid and like not wear a mask and go out to all these restaurants and go to these museums and go to the bars and do all of these things. I'm literally going to New York to have like interactions with friends and be able to spend time with my boyfriend and be an independent human, like be an independent person, gain my independence back. I'm not going to do the whole New York experience. Of course, that would be great and amazing, and maybe it'll happen while I'm there. Maybe the pandemic, you know, the vaccine will come out, numbers will start to go down, and maybe I will get to experience that. But I'm not going to New York to mess around. Like, I'm still going to be taking it very seriously. I will still be social distancing, you know, minimizing my interactions with strangers, like going out. None of that will be happening. I am going to be taking it very safe, and I understand the risk. And I also, like, I don't want corona. Okay, I haven't gotten corona up until this point, knock on wood. I don't want it. I don't plan on getting it. It's my goal to make it through this pandemic without actually getting the virus, okay? So I just want to make that very clear and clear that up, because I don't want anyone in the comments to be like, you're dumb for doing that in the middle of a pandemic. I don't think that I'm dumb for doing it in the middle of a pandemic. In fact, I've weighed all my options. You didn't see me when I was sitting at the table for literally 4 days straight trying to figure this out, like crying and stressing and trying to figure out all of the minor details of this whole situation. Like, that was definitely something that was discussed. It was definitely something that I weighed my options about, and I feel comfortable moving there, so let's just leave it at that. I'm not gonna specify where in Manhattan I'm living just for safety purposes. Yeah, that's just kind of self-explanatory, but I am moving to Manhattan, not Brooklyn. I'm not moving in like the Upper East or West Side. Manhattan. That's all I'm gonna say. I already said when it's happening, the week of December 1st. If you guys want an in-depth video on how I went about finding a sublease in the city and the application process and kind of an in-depth video on how I went about that, let me know, because I can do that. I don't want to take the time in this video to do that because I feel like a lot of people don't care about it, but if you do care about it and a good number of people care about it, I can definitely make a video on how I went about searching, pros and cons, things that I needed for my application, how the communication went with realtors and brokers and showing apartments and stuff like that. Last thing I want to say is that this was not an easy decision for me. Like I said, I really debated whether or not this was a good idea. In the end, I think that it is a good idea, and I think that it is good for me, and it'll be good for my mental health, and it'll be good for my career, and it'll be good for a lot of things. But I want to say that it wasn't an easy decision. I don't want to make it seem like it was an easy decision, that I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this and figure it out. Like, I really did go through all the details and figure my shit out before I made the commitment. Now that you guys know where I'm moving, why I'm moving, the whole process, sorry this was literally so long. Props to you if you made it this long, because you're a real one. If you have any additional questions, you should leave them down in the comments below. Guys, get ready for so many moving vlogs and apartment decor hauls, and I literally have a list of content I'm not going to show you guys, but I literally have like a list of video ideas that I want to do, and I haven't felt this inspired to create videos in so long. I feel like I've been in a rut, so I'm really excited. Get ready for the New York City vlogs, get ready for the moving vlogs, get ready for the apartment haul, get ready for all of the things. I am so excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for it as well. If there's any specific content that's New York related or moving related or apartment related that you want to see, make sure to comment down below so that I can add it to this list, because I just want to keep this list going, because I feel motivated and inspired and really happy and really excited. If you guys are not subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe down below so that you guys don't miss out on any of the good content coming. If you want to follow my Instagram, I'm sure a lot of New York content will be on my Instagram in the future, coming December 1st, week of December 1st. So if you want to follow my Instagram, it's always linked in the description below. I'll also have it just at the bottom of the screen. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.